Hello, hello. Hello, Hera. Hello, Pleasant28. Okay, let me just ping the Discord crew. I had a stream scheduled for this. I had to delete it because there was some problem with my software. So this is actually a newly scheduled stream. So hopefully that won't confuse too many people. Okay, and just let me know if the audio levels are working. And let me just, as we're waiting for that, let me just clean up a little bit of this desk. The tablet arrived a few hours ago, about three and a half hours ago, and I'm pretty excited to try it. I wasn't gonna really get it, but I'll tell you right now what made me change my. Yeah, I decided to go back to the basics, get a little formal. What made me change my mind about this tablet is I was having a lot of fun drawing with the Moving, number one, which is 11 inches, and this is 12 inches. So lately I've been kind of okay with these smaller sizes. The second thing, oops, I don't have my music. Let's get that going. There we go. There we go. The second thing is XP Pen in general seems to do their own thing with the form factors of their tablets, with how they look, how big the bezels are. And I have to admit, I was kind of intrigued by the new look of this new Artist 12 third edition. And also, I think there's a curiosity about the pen and how it works. And so we're going to try that out. Okay? So, let me double check to see if I have my. Yeah, Pleasant28. I wonder how good the tablet is. I remember I want to buy the Artist 12 Gen 2 and ended up buying the Deco Pro Gen 2. Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be a really good tablet. One thing that I noticed is, and we'll take a look at the price in a second, it's really affordable. Like it is cute. Rain, yes, it is cute. I believe it's on discount for like $220, maybe $200. So it's one of the cheapest tablets. Sorry, I don't like to use the word cheap. It's one of the least expensive tablets you can get that has a display. So that's good. That's good. That's definitely something I want to explore. Okay, let's see if I can get the overhead here. And I know it's all blurry. I'm going to have to. Yeah, this X4, we got to, Now I don't have my scale with me on the desk, but I will talk about the IAF and we'll see. And I'll measure it tomorrow, of course. Where is my, hang on. I've got to turn off this, or change the focus of this darn thing. Hello, continuous, there we go, continuous focus. Okay. Let's clear some space. And let's X4. Get here. Okay, and we'll test it with some X3 Pro pencils as well. Okay, so here is the tablet. Oops. Now, what do you notice? Let me take my face out of here. That wasn't quite it. There we go. What do you notice? It's a cute box. It's a real cute box. It's a little different from XP Pen style, normal style, where they have very intricate designs, but I like it. It's very cute. And it's just colorful and bright and nothing too special on the sides, right? Now notice that the name of the tablet is weird. Artist 12 Third. Third. That's just a weird formulation. So I don't like to say third edition or third. I'm going to call this the Artist 12 Gen 3, okay? I know XP Pen doesn't call it that, but I hereby have announced if tablets have like a number like this, I'm always going to call them Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, that kind of thing. That's my new rule. Okay, so cute art, and I just want to show you the back. There's some energy ratings. I don't know what any of this means. Now it's in the D category. Don't know what. So it says 8 kilo. I don't even know what this means. 8 kWh, kilowatt hours per 1,000 hours. Don't know. Don't know. The two cute characters there. It looks like some kind of bunny and some kind of fox. I think XP Pen uses this fox quite a bit. Specifications are here. Let me just take a quick look at it. Where's my zooming in tool? Okay, here we go. I know, Hera, it's so cute. That's why I bought it. Joinix5 is here. Hello, nice to see you. Okay, I can zoom in a bit more maybe. So it says, okay, there we go. It says, look, they put every kind of name for this. Drawing display, pen display, graphic pen display. I call all these things pen displays. Product model CD121FH. Color black, so black plastic. Resolution is 1920 by 1080. Full lamination, okay, good. Display colors, just of course 8 bits per color channel, so 60 million colors. Contrast is pretty typical, 1000. 99% sRGB, 260 nits of brightness, 25 millisecond response time, so nothing special. We always wanted better, but pen displays generally don't have very low response times. And it says X4 Smart Chip Stylus. So we're gonna see whether this stylus works with the X3 Elites or the X3 Pros, okay? Now it says initial activation force is 2 gram force, and I haven't measured it. I could believe it. When I measured the X3 Pros, they were hovering a little bit under 3 gram force, by the way. 16,000 pressure levels. Remember what I always say. Don't pay attention to this. Do not pay attention to pressure levels. It's marketing. Tilt, nothing special here, 60 degrees. 10 millimeter reading height, hover height. Accuracy, I guess it's okay. Ports, so you have full-featured USB-C port. Okay, good. And a 1x3, that means a 3, this is a port. This port here is a USB-C port for the 3-in-1 cable. And it lists a bunch of things. Now it says Android. If anyone wants me to try with Android, I absolutely can do it, okay? Okay, and now I need some water. Yeah, Rain, I'm with you there. The something about the moving pad has got my brain into smaller tablets. I don't know what it is. Okay, let's do some unboxing. And I'm gonna have to zoom out for this. Look what okay, let's just focus on how cute these characters are though. That is really cute. Sure wish Huyan would do this. Sure wish Wacom would do something like this. Something cute and charming like this. But Wacom has decided that we cannot get cute things or colors on their boxes. They've forbidden artists, etc., from seeing nice graphics on their boxes. They're banned. Harry, you want me to try Android Dexter? Absolutely happy to do it. Okay, so let's flip it over. And I have not opened this already. Okay, so nothing too out of the ordinary. Let me put this box on the floor. Oops, not that. I want this. Okay. Let me clean up my front screen here, folks. I need to create a little bit of space for some things here. 1 minute. Okay, great. Let's see. Hera says, I want to use the cute XP Pen tote as I got as a freebie, but it feels weird not owning any XP Pen products. Don't feel weird about it. Don't feel weird about it. Use the freebies. Use the freebies. Okay. So here's the tablet. And it's wrapped in cellophane, which, if I understand correctly, cellophane is actually not, it's organic. It's not actually a synthetic material. It's not plastic. So I'm putting it on top of a Movink 13. So The moving 13 size is actually 13.3 inches, and this is a 12-inch screen. So physically, this tablet is very close in width and height to a moving 13. Okay, in fact, let me unplug the moving 13. And then it is really, though, quite a bit thicker. I would say it's 2.5 times thicker. Okay, and the moving has a wedge shape. This is just flat. Now I do like the shape. Let me unbox. Let me strip off the cellophane. Okay. Okay, this is good. It's easy to get out of here. And slide this off. Okay. So there's a bright light right up here, and I'm just going to shine it over there. You see more glare than I do. There is a little bit of glare here. It looks pretty typical for a pen display. Okay, pretty typical, so nothing unusual. There's only this logo here. Now there are 8 buttons, 4 up here and 4 down here, and 2 rollers. Okay. Now the buttons on some of the XP Pen documentation, they make a point about these buttons, which is they say you can press like down like this, and you can press from the side. Okay. In other words, you don't have to struggle. You can just press it in any way you want, and it'll press. You don't have to just press from the top, which I think is a nice touch. Something about these are not lights. These red dots. These are just like paint. There's a little indentation there. So I just want to make sure you understand these aren't not glowing or anything. You can't feel those red dots, and there's no like bumps, no like braille or anything. So you're going to have to just sort of know where they are by touch, or look at them. With some tablets, they have little bumps there, so you can just feel which button you're on, which is a nice touch. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm gonna bring the tablet up here, okay? Can you hear this at all? So there's a clicky clicky, that's the scientific term, clicky clicky for the rollers. Okay, it's not loud, but it's kind of medium level. If you're doing this, it might be irritating, but it's not annoying. But if you're using this tablet around people and using these rollers, you know, they would hear it. They would hear it. Actually, let me take this off. Actually, yeah, with this off, it would irritate people. But I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it clearly has a sound. Okay. Yes, Rain, the moving 13 does have a little bit of a larger bezel on the bottom. That's correct. Here, the bezel looks to be about 3/4 of an inch. I'm sorry, European people, I don't know what that means in the fake units you use. And oh, look, there's the 3 USB ports. Notice the USB-C ports are, they are, what do you call it? They're recessed, okay? What that means is you have to wonder if a standard USB-C cable will fit. I'll try one in a minute. And there's 3 buttons here. There's a power button, and there's a plus minus, which I guess is the brightness. There's nothing else up here. There's a little strip here. I wonder if it's for a magnetic attachment for the pen. Nothing else here on the back. Nothing special. Yeah, okay. Feels good. It's not heavy. It feels nice. Okay. Let me get some water. Okay. Now I got to decide which computer I'm going to use to demonstrate this. Let's do the unboxing. Let's continue the unboxing, okay? There's more to show you. So here's the box, and let me hide my face for a moment. Here is. Yeah, Rain. I'd be a little cautious about that. If you were in a coffee shop or something, I'd be a little cautious with that click. I wouldn't be rolling it very fast because people could get irritated. Again, I don't mean that as a complaint. It's probably going to be surprising that it has a click. And certainly you can feel it. Okay, what the hell is in here? How do you open these boxes? I don't even understand anymore. Sometimes I feel like I just don't know how to open boxes, honestly. Oh, you open it this way, okay. Okay, what do we get? We get a 3-in-1 cable. Okay, so power, data, and HDMI. And I believe this is a full-featured USB-C cable. I mean, this USB-C cable should carry power, data, and video, and we will test that. Okay. And I'm gonna use this cable, so I'm gonna put this out. Then, oh, here's the stand. It just says XP Pen portable stand, collapsible. So it looks like it folds and you unfold it. Okay, I mean, look, it's compact. And I guess it allows them to keep the tablet flat. Okay, so I'm just gonna head and I'll deal with the stand later. Okay, I'll deal with the stand later. Let's see what else we got here. I think I need a pen. Here's a pen. Hello. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you. Okay. So, this, I don't know if you can see it. There are two buttons. Okay. It's interesting because it's round here, but as you get to this end here, which is slightly becomes gray, it actually has, you see what happens here? It's not round anymore. It's like a rounded rectangle, right? So it changes shape. Now, in theory, what this means is it should resist rolling. Let's try that out. Well, it does roll, but it has a slight resistance to it. You can see it kind of wobbles. Can you see it? Here's again. There's a kind of a wobbling. I'll do it there. It will settle on one side, but I wouldn't call it resistant to roll, though it has a little bit. Okay. It actually, the touch of this feels actually pretty good. This actually feels good to hold. It's very, and not in a bad way. It's very slick, like smooth. Okay. It feels probably, some people are gonna say it feels a little not premium, but I actually think it feels premium. Honestly, I wish it had a little more weight to it, to be quite honest. Okay. And the old it looks like the old Galaxy Tab S Pen. I don't think I've ever seen one of the old S Pen. Okay, so now I got to figure out how I'm going to use this with you all. Do I do it with my main computer? I think I'm going to use it with a different computer. Let me move this stuff around here. Okay, and I'm going to bring up another laptop. You gotta give me a minute to set this up, because I'm gonna have to do the thing I hate, which is uninstalling drivers. Okay. Okay. So give me a minute as I do a little bit of, I'm gonna get rid of the Wacom driver. Add remove programs. Okay, let me find the Wacom driver. Or I could use my MacBook, which would be simpler. Let me get the MacBook, because that might be a little bit easier for me to deal with than uninstalling this. Okay, so give me a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and I've got my M3 MacBook Pro. Let's see. Rain has a comment. If the pen is like they have claimed, wouldn't that bring it more in line with the Huion? Yeah, yes, they said it's 2 gram force IF. That's correct, Rain, and it's actually printed on the box. So it's they're very specific that it's 2 gram force. Okay, give me a minute and I'm going to log in here. I'm going to log in with my password. Okay. And you're going to have to, you all are just going to give me some time because I have to close some apps here, which are the result of, I think, the last stream or the stream before testing. Okay. Okay, and I have, let me first set things up. I have the XP Pen driver, and I'm just going to check to see if, okay, it is asking me to connect things. So I'm going to connect this tablet by getting this cable. One of the reasons I'm interested in this tablet is, you know, I've been very open. I recommend the Huion Canvas Gen 3, 13 Gen 3 a lot. And I do recommend the Artist Gen 2, but I want to have something that's a little bit lower in price. And this might be, you know, my next big recommendation. We'll see. I'm going to plug this in here. This is the full-featured cable that came in the box. And where did the tablet go? Okay, over here. Okay, and this looks to be a 2-meter cable, 6-foot cable. Maybe 1.5 meters. And notice again, look at the shape here. It has to fit in the slot. And does it fit? I didn't even know which slot I picked. I picked the top slot. Press the power button. It's lighting up. Okay. Okay. It's actually, can you see it? My Mac UI is actually in here. And on the Mac, it says allow accessory to connect, and I'm going to click allow. And then what happens a lot of time is that computers think that tablets with buttons are keyboards. So that's actually what it's asking me here is like keyboard setup assistant. So I'm just going to quit. No touch, of course. Okay, so the existing driver that I had installed, which is version 4.0.10, knows about this, okay? And so there's some built-in shortcuts. There's some menu thing here. There's this pen thing. It knows the pen. And let's take a look at the pressure curve. It's set all the way to the left. Okay. Why don't we just really quickly set the how the windows are arranged here. Actually, you know what? I'm also going to flip this cable around. It's irritating that the cable goes down, so I'm just going to flip it upside down. It'll make it a little... Actually, and I'm also going to use the lower... this thing will not fit. The USB-C full-featured... Sorry. The full-featured USB-C cable will fit in the top port, not the bottom port. So the bottom port is for probably the 3-in-1. Okay. Now, one thing you're going to notice, I don't know if you can see it. You see how this cable fits? It actually sort of... It makes it hard to press the buttons. This button is I guess the brightness. Yeah. So it makes it a little difficult. It's a little awkward. Actually, Pen could have done a better job there. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'm not going to stress about something like that. Okay, but now you can see what this feels like. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we are going to just set up the monitors so that I can, when I'm drawing, I can show you the camera as well as what's actually on the screen. But that requires a minute of configuration. So give me a moment. Let me get a drink of water. Okay, and laptop. Okay, give me a second. I've got to just arrange things. if I can remember how to do these things. System settings. And I need to go to displays. And let me try another view. That's not it. Is that it? Yeah, this is kind of the view I want, actually. Or something close enough to it. Let's see. I need to make sure you can see my camera above as well as the screen that's down here should be the same. Okay. So let me go to click this, and I want these two to mirror. Okay. Okay, great. So you're seeing now my hand as well as what's actually happening on the screen. That should make it easy for us to understand what's going on. Hydrate. Thank you, Hainem. I must hydrate. My dietitian is very key. She stresses that fact very often. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see things a little bit better. Okay. So let me do the first test, which is just, now this is subjective, so don't take this, oops, I need to arrange the monitors a little bit here. Arrange. I want it like this. Done. Okay, great. First, let's just make sure the mouse is in the right place. Okay, it's in the right place. Good. Lag. Okay, so this lag is a little bit more, I would say, than is typical. Okay. Now, I don't think many of you are doing this business. Okay. I think most of you are probably drawing like this. So I think you'll notice a little bit of lag, and we'll see how that works out in applications. Okay. So let me go back to the driver, and let me set up. What do I want to do here? Yeah, I'm going to do a quick IAF test. So let me just go ahead and show you the driver here. I'll move it over. And in fact, this screen is so zoomed in, I'm going to change the display settings to make that screen look a little less zoomed in. Let's see. This should be a little bit better. Yeah, that's a little better, a little easier for me to deal with. Okay, so I'm going to start drawing here, and I'm just going to tell you subjectively. Shit, this is so confusing because my hand is going to cover that thing. It definitely draws with its own weight. I can't tell you whether this is 2 gram force or 3 or whatever. I do think it is in the 3 gram force range, so that's good, right? But I have to wait for measuring it, okay? The stroke looks good, nothing crazy here. And I want you to look here and just see how easy it is for me to keep it in the low range. All pens struggle with keeping it in this place, okay? And so this is normal, but overall, I can keep the pressure where I need to, and I'm pressing now. Okay, so my feeling is this has a pretty good maximum physical pressure, so it's a wide pressure range. You don't like the cable pluzzing? Is it because of the way it obscures the button? So I think this pen is good. I'll do a measurement tomorrow. This is the X4 pen. I know Hera wanted me to test. We're just going to test this out. I'm going to get an X3 Pro pen and see if this tablet responds to it. Okay, so the X3 Pro pen, the X3 Pro pen works with this tablet. Okay. And I have quite a few of these pens. I'm going to just test a few more and just see if we can confirm this, in multiple places. Okay. Now we're also going to check the X3 Elite, but okay. Now this one is the X3 Pro Slim, or one of these. No, it works too. Okay. It works too. Okay. We'll try just a few more. They're all working. I've got a roller pen in here somewhere. I want to see if it works. I don't know where it is though. Yeah, they all work. They all work. I can't find the roller pen. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So, at least, now remember, this tablet doesn't know this is the roller pen. It just assumes it's the same pen, okay? But they all work as far as I can tell. Oh, I mean the cable is on the screen early. Got it, got it. Hopefully, tell me if that happens again. Sometimes I don't notice it because I'm staring here, okay? So, overall, happy with the pen, okay? And let me hydrate. Okay, next test. I'm going to test the... now I'm going to look at the glare again, now because I've got a screen up here. And I'm trying not to hit these buttons, by the way. So, you're seeing more glare than I am. I'm definitely seeing glare, but it's nicely diffused, right? I'm going to try to make the screen a bit brighter, if I can. Okay, I'm making it now 100% brightness. I'm not sure if I really noticed much of a difference myself. I don't know if you see it. Oops, I pressed a button. I didn't mean to do that. So let's get to the XP Pen thing again. Okay. So overall, happy with this. Happy with this. Let's take a look now at parallax. Now you can't easily see this, so you have to trust me on this, okay? You have to trust me. Parallax is really good. This looks right on top of the pen. There's a very slight separation, which is pretty typical for... So I would call the parallax very good. Okay? So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. And while we're talking about the screen, this screen looks to be, what do you call it? Matte, sorry, etched glass. It doesn't have a screen protector as far as I can tell. We'll double check on the specs. Okay, now we're going to take a look at tracking accuracy, static tracking accuracy. In other words, does the pointer stay underneath the pen in all locations? So I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see how I do this test, which is a silly test, but you'll see exactly what I do. So yeah, I would say it's underneath there. And no matter where I click, it's okay. So static tracking accuracy is very good. Now, what about when I get close to the edges? Probably deviates a little bit, not much. I don't think any of you would, all tablets do this. I don't think it's deviating that much at all. Okay, so that's fine. What about tilt compensation? This is when I do something like this. Now I'm going to zoom in because it's going to be a little weird, so bear with me. Because I want to, not everyone understands what this test is, so I want to just show it to you for real. So I'm putting the tablet like a 45 degrees. I'm not testing parallax. I'm testing, oh, let me use the pen that came with it. Oops, can you see it? Okay. Now I'm going to tilt. Do you see it shift? Nope. And you see it shift? I think there's a little bit of the pointer moving to the left a little bit as I tilt left. Now you're not comparing the distance from the pointer up and down. You're seeing how it shifts left and right. Actually, now that I take a look at it again, I don't think it's shifting that much. The pointer's a little bit shifted just in general to the left of the pen tip. Yeah, so I don't think it's shifting that much. A little bit maybe. So it's okay. It's okay. I'll check in some other places here to find anything unusual. I think it's tricky to do this because it's hard to keep your pen completely static in all locations. And I'm working on maybe some way of... Yeah, so I would say as I tilt to the left, there's a little bit of... the pointer's a little bit more to the left than you'd expect by maybe 1.5 millimeters maybe, right? XP Pen in general has not had quite as good tilt compensation as other tablets, but I think this is okay. This is actually okay. Now, if you're left-handed, you might hold the pen like this, and I don't think you're really going to notice a problem. Okay. Okay, let me zoom out. And give me a second. I'm gonna open up a website on this other screen just so I have some notes in front of me on how to look at certain things. Hanem says the tilt compensation doesn't seem to be as good as PenTech 4.0, but it needs to be tested with line strokes. Correct. And we will do that. Okay, give me a second. I need to get to my... I'm actually going to my Wacom 114 notes because I had a very structured way of looking at all these topics. So I'm just gonna make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. So, we talked about that. We talked about pixelation. Let's take a... Actually, we'll talk about surface protection. I mentioned there's no surface protector, it's just etched glass, as far as I can tell. I think to test to see pixelation, I'm going to, just for a moment, I'm going to switch laptops. That's because Mac OS does some, what do you call it? It has kind of anti-aliasing. So I use a Windows machine when I want to test sharpness of pixels. Okay, so I don't need to install the driver or anything because I'm just looking at the screen, and this should work. So I'm just unplugging from the MacBook, connecting to a Surface Pro 7, Surface Laptop 7. My apologies. So it worked fine. Let me make sure it's not duplicating. Okay, just 1 second. Let's go to display settings and I want to extend the displays. You got to make sure you extend the displays. Keep changes, and let's just make sure we're using the right resolution. Yeah, okay. I'm going to set this to 100% recommended. Might be a little bit harder for you to see, but I just want to make sure I get the pixels very crisp. Okay, now I'm going to take a look. Yeah, pixels look crisp. They're not, I don't see that softness that you might experience with, let's say, the Huion Canvas Pro 19. So very typical, no surprises here. The screen is fine, right? Next, let's take a look at pixelation. So that's basically, will you notice the pixels? No more so than any other tablet out there. Now what about anti-glare sparkle? There's a tiny bit of sparkle, but you see how close my eyes are to looking at this? I know you can't see it on camera. You'd have to put your eyes within like I don't know, what's this, 3 inches, 2 inches to see it. So it's a low amount of anti-glare sparkle. Okay, and then we talked about static tracking accuracy. We talked about tilt compensation. I'm gonna need to find my diagonal wobble testing ruler. wherever the heck it is. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Okay, I couldn't find my standard ruler, but I got something almost as good, which is a book that has no staples in it. It's this is a good book, by the way. It's called Robot Dreams by Sarah Varon. Pretty good book. I know it looks like a kid's book. I don't know if you'd actually give it to a kid. It's let's see. I need Krita. And I need my MacBook back up. So let me disconnect. Pluzzing says, I think you're saying, ever since I watched too many tablet reviews, I'm getting a little invested with the tablet and pen. I know that feeling. Okay, let's move this thing out of the way and get back to our MacBook. I'm going to zoom out a little bit as well. Okay. Now let's attach back to the MacBook. Attach the other side. This USB-C cable, by the way, is thick. It is like sturdy. It's not as easy to handle as some of these really thin ones. Okay. We're going to do a line wobble test, so I need to launch Krita. Wherever Krita is. There we go. Okay, and for this, I'm going to, let's see. I don't know if that's what I want. Yeah, you're gonna see, oh, that's not the right screen. No, it is, okay, yeah. You're gonna see me draw on Krita, and I just want you to see if there's any wobble. That's why I zoomed in like this. And where the heck is Krita? Hello? Krita. Oh, Krita's up. I just didn't realize there was no window. Let's create a new window, a new document. And you can't see where the window went because it's on the other screen. So create, it's basically a 4K, something like a 4K document. And let me arrange my displays again because unplugging and replugging has sort of confused this Mac. So So just give me 1 second. I gotta make sure that this is mirroring. Then I gotta go to range. I gotta shift the arrangements. Done. Okay, that should work better. And then let's see if I can move Krita over. There we go. There we go. Okay. So let's get a good pen. I think this is the one I want. This is the Ink3 fine liner. And I'm gonna just make sure that the size, turn off pressure for the size. Make sure nothing else is affecting it. And okay, let's start drawing. So let me do one quick stroke. That's not, they didn't draw anything. Why not? Let me turn off smoothing as well. Okay, why did it not draw anything? Is it because I didn't select the right color? Let's select some color. Okay, don't know what happened there. Fine. Let me delete this layer. Is there... I can't draw on this for some reason. The layer is locked. Am I just crazy here? Is there a reason I cannot draw? Oh, the size is set to 0.07 pixels. How about we up that to 5? How about that? There we go. That was actually quite mysterious. I didn't understand what was going on. Okay. So I have, I'm using that book as a ruler. Okay. So I do 3 strokes slow, which is about 4 seconds for 10 centimeters. Then 3 seconds medium, which is 2 seconds for 10 centimeters. Then 3 strokes relatively fast, which is 1 second for 10 centimeters. And I just count in my head, okay? How many seconds? I'm drawing the first 3 strokes. Already I can tell there's a little bit of diagonal wobble. Not unusual at this speed. I always want no diagonal wobble. There's a little bit. Now medium. A little bit less, I think, but still visible to my eyes. And now fast. Much diminished. There's a little gap in the stroke. That was, I think I did that, so I'm going to undo. Okay. Let's try this again. Actually, I drew that a little bit slower than I intended. So let me do... Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's just take a look. I'm going to have to zoom in for this with my own eyes. Hi, Dermon. Good to see you. It's been a while. Let's take a look here. Okay, so with the fast stroke, I see a tiny bit of wobble. With the medium, I see a little bit more. And with the slow stroke, I see a little bit more. Now, I think a lot of you will not notice the wobble, but I do notice it. So remember, this is a harsh test. This draws out the wobble in situations lots of people would never notice it. So you have to keep that in mind. So the question I do here, all tablets have a little bit of wobble. The question is, how easy is it to correct? Okay. So what I do here to verify that is I go to the, you can't see because my face is covering, but I turn on smoothing. Okay. And let's see if this will get it for you. Yeah. I turn on weighted smoothing and I try to find some distance value. Let's start with just 50, which is pretty low. It's at the 51.4. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to add a new layer. And then, oh, I don't need to copy that. I did not mean to copy that. Here we go. Okay, I'll just erase this old one. My mistake. Now let's, because I'm going to redo this test anyway for the final video. Yeah, that's right, Jermon. It's the Artist 12 the third, but I'm going to say Artist 12 Gen 3. So when I use smoothing to correct the wobble, I set it at 50. And the wobble is almost all gone at 50, which is very low. Then let's try 100. So that's 99, okay? So let's try that. Okay, at 100, I would say it's very, very minimal. I don't think most humans would notice at all. So probably at 200, it'll be almost completely gone. I'm going to go ahead and set it to 200. Technically 194. Try one more test. Again, this is a harsh test. This is not an easy test. Lots of tablets, even Wacom tablets, have diagonal wobble that can be detected. Yeah, 200, it's you can't see it. You really can't see it. So I'd say 200, which is decent. It's decent. Okay. Hayden says, waiting for the Artist 12, the next generation. One day they will call things like that. I'm waiting for tablets to be, you know, Artist 12, Artist 12 Pro, and then Artist 12 Pro Max. That's what I'm waiting for. But I guess actually, oh gosh, I just flipped the pen. XP Pen switched to Ultra instead of Pro Max. Okay, next test will be pointer lag. Okay, so you can't see it so much, but I'll flip on the overhead so it's a little more obvious to you. And for this, it's actually, you gotta minimize these apps, okay? And what do I think about this? It's probably very slightly more, but I think it's only because I would notice it. I'm not sure you would all notice it. In other words, it's typical. It's typical for a pen display. A little bit more than I'd expect for a 13-inch pen display, but because it seems to go less by size when displays shrink. But I don't think you're going to notice. I just don't think you're going to notice. Okay, artifacts at low pressure. This is a fun test. All at low pressure near the IF, all pens are kind of hyper-reactive to pressure. And so what you do is you test that by getting a brush like this one, and you set it to, like, I don't know, 300 or something. Let's get up to 300. That's pretty close. And then what you do is you turn the pressure response curve to make it flat like this, okay? And make sure nothing else is affecting it, like strength, okay? And then I already saw the driver pressure curve is flat. I'm drawing right above the IAF. And you know what? It looks really good. There's no like really weird bumps. Actually, you know what? I didn't do this test fairly. I had this weighted smoothing on. And I didn't have smoothing pressure, but it's good to just be real and not do that. So the stroke will vary left to right and up and down, but it's the pressure we're looking at. And this is good result. This is a good result. There's no blobbiness to the strokes, okay? Let me see if I can put this a little closer to your, yeah. There's no blobbiness to the strokes at all. And I'm drawing right at the IAF. See how thin the lines are? No blobbiness, okay? Blobbiness would be like if I was drawing thin, it would go like this, like it would look like this. That's really what it looks like, or it literally would look like pearls. That's another symptom of that weird pressure. And that stuff happens because of the pen's oversensitivity, or overreaction is a better word. And it happens because of the texture of the screen. Pen displays tend to have less of it than pen tablets. Potato says they're saving that for the Wacom Cintiq 32 Pro. Yeah, $10,000, I would believe it. So this is good. This is and the reason I bring this artifact, low pressure artifacts, is you won't have to tweak your pressure curve if this pen and driver handle it correctly. And they do, and that's fantastic. And I wish everyone would do it the way XP Pen does it. Okay, next question is pressure banding. Pressure banding. So pressure banding involves a test where you, let me erase this. You draw, let's see, I'm gonna use this pen again. Set it to like 70, maybe a bit bigger. And then you set it to the pressure to be, don't change the size. You change the pressure to be the opacity, and you just keep it like this, okay? And as a human, it'll not look perfect, but I'm gonna keep it at low pressure. And it's so light, you won't see anything interesting. You'll see variations, but that's not the question. The question is, do we see regular banding, weird attenuation, and spikes in the pressure? And I don't see anything like that. Is there in Krita, do you have like adjustment layers? I forget if they actually have this. Filter, adjust, god darn it. I want auto contrast. Yeah, okay, that's good. Did a good job. Okay, so what do you notice here? There's no regular banding, no regular attenuation, and no regular spikes. So this does not have pressure banding, which most tablets do not have. It's just that certain Wacom tablets do have them, and that's why I don't recommend them. So we're good here. This is a new test I'm doing with tablets. Okay, I talked about the pressure range. I didn't measure with the scale, but I would say I believe XP Pen that this is 2 gram force. Obviously, with every pen you get, it's going to vary a little bit. So it could be 2, could be 3, but I'm happy with it. I think the max pressure here is pretty good, actually. Right? I think I had to press surprisingly hard, harder than I expected to get the max pressure. If I had to guess off the top of my head, I would say it's definitely over 350 gram force. I could be wrong about that. I'll do my testing. It wouldn't surprise me if it was 450. And I might not be surprised if someone told me it was 500. Okay, but I would guess 350 to 400. That's what I would probably guess. We'll see. Okay, so that puts it in the good pressure range. We didn't see pressure banding. Parallax was good. Surface texture. Okay, you know what? I have another tablet somewhere here. Here we go. So I have the Wacom Moving 13, which is a good comparison. And I know I'm not drawing on it. I'm just touching the pen to it, and I'm comparing. Okay, so there's a very light texture on the Artist 12 Gen 3. It's just a tiny bit more than the Moving, okay? Just a tiny bit more. Not you probably wouldn't even notice, but I think there's just a tiny bit more. Okay, Ergonomics. It's been running at 100% brightness now for what? Let me take a look at how long I'm streaming. Let's say 45 minutes. I'm not sensing any heat. It's probably just slight, but room temperature basically. So this is fine for drawing. I would say it's probably just slightly warmer. Let me show you my hand here. It's probably slightly warmer right where the ports are, right here. Okay? Just very slightly cooler here. That's all. Okay? And legs, for those of you who joined later in the stream, let me show you, just to confirm with you, there are no legs. It's just flat. Okay? And then VESA mounting, yeah, there's no VESA mounting, it's just flat. If you want to put this on a VESA arm or something, you're gonna have to find one that's designed for a laptop, a small laptop or an iPad, and that has brackets, and put this on those. Okay, touch, this does not support touch. Auxiliary inputs, yeah, auxiliary inputs are these buttons and rollers, so 8 buttons and 2 rollers, okay? Now, they've already got the rollers mapped. Can you see it? The top roller changes the brush size. You might even be able to hear the roller in the audio. The bottom roller rotates. It says it's rotating, but it doesn't. Mark Lorenzo, the design is nice, but the Canvas 13 Gen 3 might be better. I think that's probably right. But this is about $50 to $70 less than the Canvas Gen 3. So I think a lot of people will probably get this just because it costs less, right? And some people may prefer the way these buttons work. Okay, connections and cabling. So again, there are 2 USB-C ports here. The top one connects with the included full-featured USB-C cable. Now, Mark Lorenzo, we're talking about Canvas 13 Gen 3. The Canvas 13 Gen 3 only includes the 3-in-1 cable. Doesn't include this full-featured. So this cable itself should cost like $20 or $30. So it's great that this is included. This is great that it's included, and they give you the 3-in-1 cable. So that's also good. So you won't be missing any cables. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, California Inking says, do you think the rollers are easy to actually hit if you hold the pen display with your left hand? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, take a look for the circle. I'm gonna let it disappear, okay? Okay, the circle is gone now, okay? Now I'm gonna just lift up the tablet, okay? And I'm gonna lift it up, and you'll see, actually, you see this thing here? The little message? That was from the roller. So if you pick it up, you will roll the roller at least one step. You see it every time. I'll do it again, right? There it didn't happen, but as the weight of it drew it down, it rolled, okay? Not a big deal, okay? Because you can just disable these. I will say one other thing that's maybe not totally obvious here. Let me zoom in. There's a little bit of plastic that extends out from the roller, from the edge. So the roller is in a sense a little bit more protected, right? The buttons aren't more protected. The buttons protrude actually. They're not flush with the tablet. They actually stick out by 1 millimeter. So be aware when you're packing this thing, if you're going to put it like this, something might be pushing the buttons, because the buttons can be pushed from the sides, okay? Let's see. Mark Lorenzo says, do they work without the screen to use as a pen tablet mode wirelessly? Do they work without the screen to use as a pen tablet mode? Basically, Mark Lorenzo, I don't think that'll be the case, because no pen tablets work wirelessly. They all require a cable, because they're all designed on the assumption they're going to need extra power in the video signal. So this tablet definitely will not work wirelessly. You can probably make it work as a pen tablet in some sense. In fact, I can try that. Let me just show you how this works here. I'm going to take the USB-C cable. This is one way of doing it. Let me zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to show. Let's see, Hayden says another break hazard. If you store the display with rollers at the bottom, that should be, yes, absolutely, Hayden. Okay, let's get the 3-in-1 cable. I'm just going to show you how, if this can be used as a pen tablet. Now, I can't do it wirelessly, but how to make these things work as a pen tablet is really very simple. Okay, you disconnect this, you plug in the 3-in-1 cable, which is on the lower port. Okay. Let's see, then you plug in the HDMI cable somewhere. That's right, Curious Idan. They're, well, it's not that they're just, I think you mean the Move Ink pad, not the Move Ink, and the Magic Drawing Pad. They're wireless in the sense that they literally support wireless connectivity, and that they don't need to be connected, right? Okay, so that's the HDMI, and so now I need power. So I have a dock somewhere, which you cannot see. I'm going to plug it to the dock. If I can plug in the USB correctly. And we're going to see if the software actually, darn it. Okay. So, you saw a flash of light there because there was a little bit of power for a second. Oh, wow. This is funny. It's getting enough power through that USB-C cable to power the things. I can't quite show you the effect I wanted to give you, which was see if I could use it as a screen tablet or a screenless tablet. It is possible on Windows. It's a little easier. I just don't have a Windows machine that has a HDMI port, so it's a little tricky to set up. Okay, I will test that though. I will test that after the video. Let's see. Hanem says any Android, iPad OS tablet can work wirelessly with Super Display. Oh, that's what you mean with Android. I see. That's right. I keep forgetting people use things like Super Display, and that they support wireless. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here's my verdict. Let's actually go to the XP Pen site. Okay. Let me get my keyboard here. Pen. Let's just take a look at how much this thing costs. You know what, Hanem, I'm going to try that in just a second, actually. Let's see. I don't want the store. I want the normal XP Pen site. Products, drawing display, Artist 12, third. Okay, so the cost of this tablet right now, look at this. Its normal price is $240. It's now $216. Okay? And I think a lot of people are going to get this. I would have no problem recommending this tablet. I think it'll make probably a pretty good beginner tablet. I personally like at least 16 inches, or actually even bigger. But if you've got a young child or someone it's going to be your first tablet, I think this will work fine. I don't think a normal person will notice the wobble. And if they do, you just turn on some smoothing. And that's true for a lot of tablets, okay? I do like the inclusion of the buttons and the dials. It does look very good. The pen is very good. As far as I can tell. Again, I will do measurements. It comes with all the it includes all the cables you need, which is another plus. So it's a lot of value for $220, okay? And I know another thing that people want to do is, can you use this with your phone? So we're going to try that, okay? We're going to try that. Now, usually these things require more power than the phone can provide, but we'll test it out right now. So I'm going to close the MacBook. Let me get some stuff out of the way. Actually, I want to do what Hanem actually had an idea. I just want to make sure. Let me go back there. Thank you, Hanem, for reminding me about this. There's that no signal, the famous no signal. Okay. So let's wait for the screen to come in. Okay. Now, it's not quite as bright, by the way, when it goes through the AC, when you're not plugging in the power. But let's try turning off the screen. Okay. So unfortunately, Hanem, when I turn off with the button on the tablets, so I think people cannot see it. When I turn off the tablet, it just turns off the entire tablet, and the driver even says there's no tablet is attached, right? Like the driver is telling me, like, you know, you got to connect the tablet. Okay, so unfortunately, you can't. This on-off button turns off the entire functionality of the tablet. Let's see. Well, I wish they created a pen tablet with newer 2-gram IAF tech. Well, this one, Mark Lorenzo, this does. I think we're probably going to see this X3 come out in new tablets with XP Pen. Sorry, X4. And if that's the case, because I think this is billed as a consumer tablet, not as a pro tablet, I expect we're going to see this 2-gram force come soon. I don't know. Right now, honestly, it's been a weird year. It's October, almost the end of October, and I really thought that we would see a lot more tablets from Huion and XP Pen. And we haven't seen that. They've just released 2 tablets. Wacom has been on fire this year, but Huion and XP Pen have not been releasing that much. Now, it's getting so late, I'm wondering if they're going to release anything before the end of the year. I certainly hope they do. And I want to see Huion have more pen tablets and XP Pen. And Mark Lorenzo, I do agree. It would be nice that if it worked that way and we could... I like not having no... Sorry, I also like having no wires. Rain, I think the best answer for you is it's on par with the other XP Pen tablets that I've used. Most XP Pen displays and tablets have a little bit of wobble, and this one has too. It's not bad, but yeah, it's on par. It's on par. And again, I think it's something that most people won't notice. And if you do notice it, just add about 200 levels of smoothing, and it should go away. Pleasing says, can't wait for the X4 Deco Pro. Yeah, I can't wait for more X Deco Pros. See, Wacom, Brain says, Wacom might have shook their plans up. Now they're back to drawing. Yeah, they are literally back at the drawing board. What a great expression. Wacom is back at the drawing board. That's a good pun, actually. That's a good pun. Okay, I need to hydrate. How's everyone doing? Is everyone enjoying the stream? Oh, Hanem, great point. Great point. That could be just a Mac thing. I will test on Windows, okay? When I'm done with the stream. Okay, let me get this 3-in-1 cable out of the way. So that's right, Hanem. Huion needs Pentec 4.0 pen tablets. Absolutely. They know it. We know it. They better get on the ball. Okay. So I'm going to find that cable. And what we're going to do is, just to prove what happens with the Samsung S24. You're liking California Inking? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. So we are going to... This shouldn't work. Okay. I just want to show it to you, just so that we're all on the same page. This should not work. I plug this into my S24 Ultra, which is fully charged, and I'm just going to see what happened. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hit the on button. What happens? Okay. This cannot provide enough power for this computer. Okay? But that's okay. That's okay. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. Now, I'm not saying this is pretty, so please don't, get upset at me because it's not pretty. I'm going to provide power to this tablet with this 3-in-1 cable, okay? And how I do that is, I'm going to plug this into a dock, or actually have an actual USB power supply here. Okay, so that has a lot of power. And then I'm going to take the rest of the 3-in-1 cable, where the hell it is, and I'm going to plug it in. Remember, this 3-in-1 cable is only connected to power. Okay, so let's see what happens. Yeah, Mark Lorenzo, if there is a pen tablet release from Julian XP Pen, absolutely. I live stream every new tablet release when I buy them. I don't buy every tablet, but I do live stream. Okay, can I do this? Can I get power? Yes, okay. So if you want your phone to work, you're gonna have to supply power to it somehow, I think. There we go. Hera, do you see that? There's our buddy Dex. So let's try concepts. Let's try concepts. Let me add a new layer. Oops, I want a new layer. So does it fully work? Well, I'm not able to get tilt to work, I'll tell you that. Or sorry, not pressure. I'm pressing hard, soft, nothing's happening. What about Diana? Yeah. Pressure is not working there, okay? So it looks like we have echoes of what we found out the other day, right? Let's try another thing. You gotta give me a second. What other apps do I have here? Concepts, so I have Infinite Painter? I have Infinite Painter. Actually, let me close that. If I'm touching this thing, but touching doesn't work. So I have to figure out other ways of doing this. Okay, so I guess I could do this. And then where's Infinite Painter? There we go. There's that. Let's make this bigger, right? Will that make it bigger? I don't even know what this does anymore. Pens, this thing. No pressure. I'm not getting any pressure here. Right? So that's another issue here with this mode. So I don't know how many of you have used a phone with a pen display, because right now I'm batting not too good. I struggled a lot yesterday with the Samsung tablet with the Canvas Pro 19, and now struggling here as well. Hayden, I think you're right that they would set a minimum power requirement. So it looks like you're also saying that the Canvas 13 Gen 3, what is it, works with the phone, but only at 50% brightness. Does it drain the battery of the phone quickly too? I would imagine it would. Okay, no pressure there. Now I'm gonna try one last thing, and you all know what I'm gonna try. Oops, I hate doing this. Hang on. It's so weird not having touch. It is just weird. Close this. Chrome. What the hell is Chrome? Can't even see it. Okay, and I'm going to type in tester here. How do I type in here? Oh, hadn't quite figured that out. Okay, I can probably get there. I think I have. Yeah, I can just navigate there. Let's see. I'll zoom. Well, I'll just do this. Okay, so it will support pressure on a web page. Right, you can see it. So at least we know it's theoretically possible. Let's see. It does drain the it drains the fuck out of the battery. Mark Lorenzo asking me if I've tested with the Canvas 13 Gen 3 and with like Samsung DeX. I have not. Let's see. Hera says if you use the Move Ink, you'll see how seamless Wacom works with DeX. Go to touchpad mode. Okay, I will try that soon. For typing, touchpad mode. How do you do touchpad mode? Let's see. Well, one interesting thing about this tablet is its color accuracy. I mean, it's 97, something like that, like 98 or 99% RWRG. Or is it? We'll double check. It's actually on the box. I believe it's on the box. It is 99% sRGB is what they list. I'm not a color expert, so I just don't know how to. Okay, so it's a mixed bag on what pressure is working with Samsung DeX. Okay, it's a mixed bag. Okay, I think we covered everything. So at least on my list of things to cover. So I will just hang out here and see if anyone else has things they want me to try or questions, and we'll figure it out. But I do think this is going to be a popular tablet. I don't have any hesitations recommending it. I think in the price range of what it is, given what it provides, meaning the full-featured cable, I have no problem recommending this tablet. Mir is here. Let's see, Hera says the extra rectangle on your phone's taskbar. Okay, Hera. The extra rectangle on the phone's taskbar. I just don't see anything like that, Hera. I just don't see anything like an extra rectangle. Mark, Mir, yes, we did test the diagonal wobble. We found a little bit of diagonal wobble, Mir, in all speeds. It can be corrected in Krita with some weighted smoothing. Hera says you can also add pen input for the Samsung DeX touchpad and use your photo as a pen tab. I need to spend some dedicated time learning how to use DeX completely. Let's see, Mark Lorenzo is asking, have I checked out the new Canvas 16 Pro V2? I didn't buy it, but Mark Lorenzo, we did talk about it on stream. Basically, our theory is this. It's basically the old tablet with the new pen. So when you look at the cost of the tablet, it's like, I don't know, $40 less than the Canvas 13 Gen 3. So our thinking was the Canvas 13 Gen 3 is the Canvas, not the 13, I think it was the 16. You might as well get the Canvas 16 Gen 3 because like the 16 Pro V2 is just not changing much, right? We didn't think it was really an improvement, right? So that's where, in fact, I don't even think it's got the same resolution as the Gen 3. And I'll double check here. Hang on, Huion, Canvas Pro V2, Canvas Pro 16. I think it's only HD resolution. Yeah, it's only 1920 by 1080. The Canvas 16 Gen 3s cost just a little bit more, but you get better resolution. Thank you, Hera. I really appreciate it if you can send some screenshots. I have a different navigation style. Oh, so I have different UI than what you see, it sounds like. Rain says, DeX is amazing now that phones are so powerful. I mean, phone is more powerful. Yeah. Hey, I am all... Since I've been, because people like Hera and others have been asking me to, they've been asking me to try Samsung or Android tablets with these pen displays and pen tablets. Pen displays. I have been really enthusiastic about the idea of just using an Android device, my phone, as my primary drawing machine. I mean, there's some flakiness going on. And as you can see, some tablets were better than others. But this may be something that I could see myself using, honestly, because it's kind of like the thing they say about having a camera, right? Which is the best camera is when you need to photograph something, the best camera is the one you actually have with you. If you don't have your camera with you, it's meaningless. And so I always have my phone with me. So it serves as a camera, and I think it could serve as when I have the need to draw. Hanem, yeah, I could totally. It's weird that the 13 and Gen 3, the 13 Gen 3 and the 16 Gen 3 are really competitive with their Pro line. So I mean, I'm happy about that because the 13 Gen 3 is very price competitive. But it's interesting. They kind of just, they went so far ahead, it makes the old Pro series kind of look bad, right? Like, why would you buy one of the older Pro ones when the Gen 3s are just better? Mir says, XP Pen has a history of different diagonal wobble in different sizes. Can't wait for the new chip to be on like the 19-inch. Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. XP Pen in general has a bit more diagonal wobble than I've seen compared to Huion or Wacom. And thanks for the nice comment on the fit, Mir. I do appreciate it. Okay, let me take a drink. Hanem says, Android desktop mode coming in Android 16 should be hype and stimulate development of a better better pen display compatibility with Android phones. I hope so. I hope there are people in Google who are really paying attention to, and of course on the tablet brands themselves are paying attention to this, because I think this is going to be important for a lot of people. And I can tell you that because on the subreddits, so many people ask about, hey, or they complain that their phone doesn't work with their pen display. And there's all sorts of reasons. So I just want it to be better and seamless and work perfectly. Let's see. I think Rain says, I think I've heard, maybe it was Tio speculating, the difference in wobble between XP pen displays could be due to glass thickness. Interesting. Interesting. I'll have to see if I can detect any pattern there. Let's see, Mr. Die Tacos. Should I get this model as a beginner or should I just wait for a bigger screen? It's a hard one to answer, Mr. Die Tacos, because if this is your first pen display and you're comfortable working in this size, I think it's a great beginner tablet. I really do. The pen is good. There's just, the only negative on this tablet is there's just a tiny bit of diagonal wobble. And I think with a little bit of smoothing, it goes away and most people won't even notice it. But I think it adds a lot of value and it comes with all the cables you need, which is very important. Lots of tablets come and they don't have that full featured USB-C cable, which costs like $30. This comes with it. So it's a great value. And I don't have a hesitation giving it a recommendation as a beginner tablet, okay? If you compare it to their older tablet, the Artist 12 Gen 2, this is easily better. You should get this one over the other one. Thank you, Hera. Thank you, Hera. I'll take a look at that in a second. Does the diagonal wobble have anything to do with math? I mean, I think so. We think that the wobble is caused because there's a kind of, I don't know how to say, displacement or distortion as the pen approaches one of the wires, the coils in the digitizer. And it looks like algorithms can compensate from it, but some tablets, for whatever reason, have a hard time compensating. And math should be able to fix it. Okay, Hanem says this is a pretty complete package. I agree. I agree. And you know what? I have one more thing which is not obvious. I know this sounds stupid when I say this. This tablet is all black. It looks very professional, actually. Like, it looks slick. The older XP Pen Artist 13 Gen 2 and 12 Gen 2 have almost like a deliberate consumer look to them. But this actually looks like a professional equipment. Yes, it could be thinner, but I like it. I do like it, right? And I think it's going to be popular this season, right? And one more thing I like about this tablet is that XP Pen has done its own thing in terms of design. Like, it doesn't look like any other tablet on the market in terms of the rollers being here or the way the buttons can stick out from the tablet. People might misinterpret what I'm about to say as being good or being bad. I mean what I'm about to say as a compliment. At Microsoft, I often was using a Lenovo ThinkPad Carbon X1, I think that was it. And it was sturdy and it looked like a real workhorse. This reminds me of that laptop. Like, it just looks, because it's all black plastic and it looks cool and it has those buttons. It actually has that Lenovo styling in my eyes, right? So I like it. I like that design. I can't remember the XP Pen 19, how much wobble it has. I know the XP Pen Artist Pro 22 Gen 2 had very little wobble. Excellent, it was excellent. But in general, I found more wobble with other XP Pen devices. Rain says XP Pen needs to up their diagonal wobble game. Yes, I like their designs. I mean, so many tablets are boring and look the same. Yeah, XP Pen is just doing their own thing. And XP Pen, okay. There's something like 2000 something years ago, some people were like attacking the city of Rome, and there was like a bridge, and like they're just about to cross the bridge, and all the Roman soldiers are fleeing across, and there's one guy who he defends. He just tells everyone go, and he stays at the bridge and fights off all these people. And then at the very last second before he gets killed, he jumps in the river and swims and joins his Roman buddies. And that guy, I don't know how to say it in Latin, but in English he'd be called Horatio. So that story, Horatio at the bridge, he's the last man defending Rome, okay? XP Pen is like that with bezels and their unique designs. They are going their own direction, and they're being brave about it. I have to give them credit. Nobody is doing wide bezels except XP Pen. No one is doing like this kind of design. Everyone's going more minimal. And I appreciate minimalism, don't get me wrong. Take a look at the Deco Pro Gen 2 tablets. They look, so what's the phrase? Yeah, they're punching above their weight in terms of design quality. They look amazing and slick, and like nothing looks as good as those those Deco Pro Gen 2 tablets. So they last year, I think in my tablet award show, they won an award. Which I am going to do another tablet award show this year. So if people have ideas for categories or topics or entertaining things we can do, let me know. I think I'll do that in either December or maybe January. Let's see. Mir says, absolutely love bezels. Makes the tablet look super strong. Yeah, it does. It does make the tablet feel super strong, right? It just looks, it looks sturdy. Pleasant says, as a Deco Pro owner, I really love the design. My favorite thing about the Deco Pro Gen 2 is that there's like a base, and the tablet's like this extra black layer that overhangs the base. So there's like a ledge. And I know it seems like a silly cosmetic thing, but it just makes it look so stylish. Just like Wacom's old Pro display. Yeah, that's right. That's right. This year was the year of Bezelgate, because the Intuos Pro 2025 series launched, and so many people were freaking out about the bezels on that device. I mean, there were people, one of the most popular videos on YouTube about the Intuos Pro 2025 is like the title of the video is something really extreme, like don't buy it, it's awful. I don't know if you guys have seen it. And I don't blame the person. He really didn't like the bezels. Some people complained it hurt their hands. I was like really iffy about it for about a month, but now I'm totally adapted. I like the new Intuos Pro 2025 models. I do. But yeah, some people are just like, they're still not liking it. Yeah, Mir, you raise a good point. There's a point of diminishing returns with the tablet getting thinner, and it does make you feel like maybe the tablet is less durable. Like when I pick up, it's not in front of me, but here's the Move Ink. Move Ink is pretty close. The moving scares, like I love my moving, but it scares me because I'm afraid I could flex this. And I'm pretty sure I could very easily flex this to break it. Very easily. Let's see. Team Bezel versus Team No Bezel. More drama than Team Edward versus Team Jake. That's right. That's right. For the record, I did, out of curiosity, I tried to watch the first Twilight movie. I got 45 seconds in before I turned it off. Let's see. Amir says, I know the specific video you're talking about. The people kept sending it. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I'm going to try to find it because it's like, it is just, and I don't mean to say anything bad about the person who made the video. It's just, the design of that tablet really created a lot of, it was very polarizing for some people, and I can't blame them. Let's see if you can find it. Is like literally one of the most popular. Yeah, here it is. This is it. Sorry, you can't see it. Let me show you. It's unusable is the thumbnail, and it says I don't recommend it. This is the one that was forwarded all the time. Hey, that's you? Fantastic. And some people don't like it. Some people don't like this tablet. Even to this day, I see people who complain about the tablet. It took me a month to get adapted to it, right? People complain about pain. And then some people complain. I think another thing is not just the bezel pain, is the buttons. On the buttons. Because I had to disable the buttons. I was hoping that the buttons I wouldn't hit them accidentally. I hit them even more accidentally. So unfortunately, in terms of the design changes they made, nothing improved for me, right? Do I miss the bezels? Yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I do miss the bezels, right? Hey, I would love to see the full review. I would love to see a full review, right? Did you give up on the tablet finally? Did you return it? Actually, let me just double check. You have one of the most famous reviews of that tablet ever. Yeah, just let us. I'm really curious. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna do a small, like a 6-month check-in on the Intuos Pro 2025 and say, hey, I've got all three. Here's what I think. But right now, when the tablets launched, what I said was, and I still believe this, if you have an Intuos Pro 2017, you don't need to upgrade. But I did say probably getting the Intuos Pro 2025 I think it's the right one to get if you've never had an Intuos Pro. I would say checking up on it, I feel more strongly now that it's a good tablet. I have adapted to the bezels. There is one mystery though, and here I'll tell you the mystery. So, as you know, Cube measures the ProPen 2 IAF at like less than 1 gram force. He's got 2 of the ProPen 3s. He has measured, now in his measurements, and I'm not good at IAF, so I don't have a measurement that compares. He found that the ProPen 3 had higher IAF. Now, I cannot understand that because to me, the ProPen 3 feels like it has just as low IAF as the ProPen 2. So there's a mystery. There is a real mystery there. Let's see. Oh, you returned it. Okay. And so you're planning to get the large. So you're going to get the new large one. Is that right? Oh, Hera, I forgot about the extra bezel thing. Can you have a link to that? I'll show people if I haven't already shown it to them. Let's see. Japanese sports car. Is the Wacom DTK 2420 still good? Let's type that in. to verify which tablet it is. I think I know the answer to this. I have never used this tablet specifically. I'll tell you my thoughts on it though. This costs $1,900. Okay. I think the new Intuos, not the Pro, the new Intuos 24 is pretty good, right? I think it's pretty good. And I think for a lot of people that might be a better choice. And one of the reasons I say that is that I'm not sure how long Wacom will support this tablet. Listen, this has the best drawing experience. That's guaranteed because it has the Pro Pen too. The question is how long will Wacom support it? And since I've never used it, the question I would have is how good is the screen, right? Let's see. Currently on Amazon for under $2,000. Yeah, that's right, 1,900. I think the question, you should look at the reviews and see if people comment on the screen. The things to look out for are how vibrant the colors are and how the parallax. Okay. Now this is one of the Pro series, so it might be pretty good. The other thing a lot of people mention about this tablet is the fan noise. And some people experience more, and they're very irritated, and some experience less. So it really depends on, I think, the specific unit. To some extent, the driver can control the fan noise. I just wish I had experience with it. But it is a good tablet. But I would also say the new 24, actually, let me just bring it up for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see, Mac. Okay. It's the Wacom. This one. This might be, if you can deal with the fact that it doesn't have quite as high resolution, I honestly think this would be a better choice. There's no noise. It doesn't get hot. It's smaller. It does have smaller bezels, so that might be an issue for you. I think this is going to be a better choice. In fact, I think a lot of people will be choosing to get this tablet. And there's a touch version. So let's find out how much the touch version is. Oops. Okay, it's 1,500. Okay. I would suggest you consider this one. And it just got released, so Wacom's going to support this for at least 10 years, if not 12 years. Okay. Let's see. PTK. Oh, the FlowPad 670. Okay, interesting. Oh, so it's only for the medium. Okay, Mark Lorenzo says, what's your opinion on the new Canvas 24 Pro Gen 3? Yesterday I was thinking I'm not going to get it. Now I think I will get it. It's going to be released in November. The only thing that gives me concern, Mark Lorenzo, is that in one YouTube review, Garcia Arts, who has a great channel, he reviews a lot of tablets, he mentioned it had more parallax. Now, everything else about the tablet looks good, but that's got me a little concerned. Now, maybe he's seeing something I won't see, so I will get the tablet. I'll commit to that, and then we'll see. Okay? So I don't have an opinion yet, but I can tell you the new pen will be good because I have like 8 of those pens, and I've tested them, and they are pretty good pens. The PW600 pen. A good point, a Japanese sports car. I'm not a color person, so I really can't comment very, very effectively about color accuracy. And I know the Cintiq Pros, if I understand it, have better color support and better accuracy than the non-pro versions. Hanem, you like the handbrake pen holder? I don't know. I don't know about that one, man. That is a little unusual for me. Too much innovation for me. Canvas Pro 19, yeah, I brought it out yesterday on stream, and I forgot how much I liked it. I really do like that tablet. Let's see, and I think Hera sent the link. Let's see if I can find it here. Oh, I see. I don't think I saw that, but I'll double check, Hera, that button on the Samsung. And then for everyone who wants to know what Hera mentioned, let me just show it to you about this bezel thing. Oops. Okay. Let me zoom out. Maybe I need to zoom out a little bit. Okay, zooming out's not doing anything. But do you see what's going on here? It sort of fits. Are there more? Oh, here we go. You see it? They even have a little puzzle picture thing. The tablet slots in. So if you really want bezels, this might be an option for you. Oh, here's how it fits together. But again, it's only for the medium size, it looks like. So maybe some of you will like it. Yeah, sponsored reviews are tricky. Like, you know, it costs... Let me put my face on there. On the one hand, it costs a lot to get these tablets. I spent, in the past 4 years, I've spent... Is that right? 4 years? 3 years. Well, let's say 4, since I started buying tablets 4 years ago. I've spent over $10,000 a year buying tablets. Okay? Now, whether that's a financially good or bad idea, that's another thing. But I'm retired and I can do what I want with my money. And I don't regret a bit of it. I've learned so much. I'm glad people are able to ask me things. And when, sometimes I get email from tablet brands and they say, oh, we'd like you to do a review. And I'm like, or we'd like you to have we'll give you one to do a review. And I just tell them, I don't do that. Like, I will just buy the tablet and I'll write something. I don't do that because I want to make sure you guys know absolutely, without any doubt, that that's why I actually don't even call myself a reviewer. And I don't buy every tablet, but I buy some of them and I just tell you what I think, okay? And I think in time I won't buy as many because all tablets are going to be good in just a couple of years, okay? We're really almost there now. Almost any new tablet you get is great, okay? Now, I spent $10,000 a year, and that's a lot. I don't think I would say it's bad. If you're going to do tablet reviews, you're probably going to, I would not want to say you can only do tablet reviews by spending $10,000 a year, okay? That's crazy. Otherwise, people would never be able to review cars or televisions. Like, it would just cost too much money. So the thing I do ask, though, so how do I separate people, how do I separate reviews? Because the vast majority of reviews are sponsored. First of all, there are a couple of names of people who are thoughtful in their reviews, and you know the names already. Brad Colbo and Tio on Tech, and there's a couple other people there. Another one, I think it was Ryan IQ Draws, right? He's on our Discord channel, so we talk about tablets. And Garcia Arts, right? And you can, and especially with Tio, who has a very structured way of looking at tablets, and Garcia Arts, who's in his own way is very structured as well, and Brad, who has his approach, which I think really focuses on the overall sense of the value that tablet gives, and Garcia Arts, I think all three of the set are people you can trust to have a very faithful representation of what the tablet is like. And in all three cases, they have said negative things about tablets they were given. Brad has done that, Tio's done that, Garcia has done that. And it's important because whenever there's a glaring issue, you want to see that it's recognized. So those three, number one, I would always trust, okay? And I tell people sometimes I never buy a tablet. I mean, it's not true anymore since I review tablets, I guess. In the past, I would never buy a tablet unless Tio had reviewed it because he's so thorough in his reviews, okay? So that's one thing. The reviews you want to watch out for are, they're well-intentioned, but they don't offer any value. And those are the reviews where someone, forget whether it's sponsored or not, those are the reviews where someone reads the specs and says, I liked drawing with it. It felt nice to draw on. And that's great, but it's not enough. It's okay if you say that and you say, I noticed something, I used it for a few days. I noticed this about the, how light reflected off of it, or I noticed the pen had this issue with the nibs. You're adding some more information about what it's like to experience it, or it was hard to set up, or the drivers didn't work. But if you're just saying, here are the specs, and I like drawing with it, it's not enough, okay? My approach is different. Or I try to be very structured like Tio, but I try to measure things, right? Is that the right approach? No. But it's adding more data. And my hope has always been that by measuring things and calling things out, and I write tools and code to measure these things, that people who are doing reviews will start picking up some of these things and start talking about them. A great example, tilt compensation. That's a thing everyone can look at and test. You don't need me to do it. You just got to look at the tablet and talk about it and take some photos. The diagonal wobble everyone is doing. I think I do it a little more structured way, right? Jazza. Oh, God, I've got to talk about Jazza. I'm going to lose my mind. Let's see. Off topic, but since you're retired, do you still have earnings? That's a question I always have when people are retired. So the great question. I'll just be upfront with you. So here's how it works. How much money do I make a year? Nothing. Well, it's not entirely true. Here's how it works. Over 30 years, either because of bonuses or because I myself purchased it, I own an amount of Microsoft stock. Okay. That stock pays a small dividend, meaning there's like money that comes back into me every year. But I have that dividend set to buy more Microsoft stock. So in a sense, I earn a small amount of money. I don't spend it. I just keep on buying Microsoft stock, right? I'm hodling Microsoft, or dollar cost averaging, I guess. So I don't have any income. All the money I've spent for the last year and a half since I retired has been on basically cash that I had in my bank account when I retired. And it's going to run out in 2 years. Okay, so I've got time. Before I need to do anything. So don't worry about me. I am totally fine. Okay. Let's see. Pleasing says, I kind of wish to be a tablet reviewer or something, but I suck at explaining things and no money. I probably make a long-term review with a tablet. You know what, Pleasing? If you're interested in reviewing things, there are opportunities that don't require, I think, and again, you should feel free if you get a sponsored thing, if they're sending you review units. And the way to do that is to start doing reviews, right? Or think about software or showing techniques, right? So for example, this is something I'm going to be doing on my channel more, is start exploring how to do certain digital art techniques, like using vector layers in Clip Studio Paint. So even with what you're doing now, think about teaching, right? See if that is something you might be interested in doing. You're reminded of Jazza. I'm just going to rant about this. So Jazza's, I guess, a very interesting guy. He's got a very big YouTube channel. I don't know him super well. I don't watch his channel that often. But he had this 40-minute or something, I'm exaggerating, review of the Huion Canvas Slate, which is an awful tablet for drawing. And it was like 99% of the video was like a lifestyle blog, and like 1 minute was, oh yeah, me and my family used the tablet, and it was great. Like, that's not a review. That's not, and more importantly, it doesn't matter if it's a review or not. It's not helping people. It's giving them the wrong idea, right? It's giving them the absolutely wrong idea. So I don't like that video, and I'm really happy I can see comments in that video where people are like, they're complaining about this review. Let's see. Hanem says, I feel like there were a lot of tablet details 10 years ago that people didn't pay attention to until reviewers stuck a label to them like IF and tilt compensation. Absolutely, Hanem. And since I've used tablets for 30 years, that's absolutely true. No one knew to talk about IAF until someone started talking about it. And now what do manufacturers do? They show the IAF on the specs, right? Have you noticed Huion and maybe others, they actually talk, they don't use the word tilt compensation. They talk about auto tilt alignment or something. Same thing. The point is they're talking about these things in their literature now. Maximum pressure, that's another thing. Now you're seeing them talk a little bit occasionally about maximum pressure. And I just want to keep on going. We want them to start talking about some of these things. Because remember, some of these things we can measure, right? And so diagonal wobble, we want to talk about that, right? Anti-glare sparkle, we want to talk about that. Some of them are hard. There's no easy way to measure anti-glare sparkle, right? Yeah, teach something interesting. Teach something interesting, you know, especially something you're passionate about. You don't have to focus on tablets or whatever, but lots of people are trying to get into digital art, right? Do a YouTube video on, you know, I don't know, I'm just making this up. I'm just giving you an example of like, every year there's a whole bunch of people who want to get a tablet or getting into digital art, and they want to just have a plan on how to, their first week, right? Or whatever. Think about a video like that. Yeah, I'm kind of iffy with that video myself. That video should be taken down. He should take down that video. It's misleading. It's misleading. And I don't mind saying that publicly. It's a very misleading video. Let's see, very except for 3K subs. Am I at close to 3K? Hang on, let me take a look here. Because I would be actually kind of amazed if I was. I haven't been watching. Oh, wow. I'm at 2,724. That's good. That's good. So maybe by December we'll actually get there. Brad's videos were the first time I was introduced to the term IAF. No one else used that term, maybe besides Wacom, which use activation force. Yeah, but did you know that Brad does not call it IAF? He does not say initial activation force. He calls it initial activation rate, which it just makes my brain blow up. But we all know what he means, initial activation force. Mir, I like your idea about teaching Krita. XP pen, we added pen tilt to the MDP 20. Yeah, they added bad pen tilt. Which, by the you know what? I'm gonna make a video tomorrow on the Magic Drawing Pad and the awful pen tilt, because people don't know how bad it is. Let's see. Thanks to those stuff, someone can finally explain why Huion or XP pen is worse than certain stuff, instead of just saying Wacom. That's right. That's right. And you know, I believe Wacom's the best. There's no doubt about that. And the more I learn about the technology, they actually, like the real details, the more I realize, wow, they really have thought about things. But we're now getting to the place where we can really talk much more intelligently about why Huion is better, or how they compare, right? And I've said this many times, Huion and XP Pen are one generation away from being exactly at Wacom's level. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Even their current generation, their latest generations, most people would not be able to tell. I am very sure for a lot of their newer tablets, you could cover the logo and give it to somebody and, you know, hide the driver, and they would not be able to tell, right? Some would, because Wacom still has very low IAF. So, Mark Lorenzo, you're talking about the Apple Pencil. So Apple Pencil has two interesting features, which are contributing to the feeling of, well, as you put it, 0 gram IAF. Number one, I have not measured it because it's kind of hard to measure. People think that the Apple Pencil has an initial activation force of less than 1 gram force, which is basically Wacom level, okay? Number two, the Apple Pencil has a feature, or the Apple iPad and the Pencil, where, so you imagine bringing the pen like down, it will start drawing here without the pen touching the tablet. Like it'll predict the pen is about to hit and start drawing then. So it can feel actually exactly what you said as 0 gram force, because technically it started drawing before you touch the tablet. And there's a video on YouTube where someone actually shows this, right? He slows it down frame by frame and you can see a dot drawn before he touches the tablet with the Apple Pencil, the iPad. Let's see. Fluzzing says, maybe in the future, I'm still a newbie intermediate, but when I become professional, I will make a tutorial since I struggle a lot despite watching many tutorials. I get it. Whenever you're comfortable, do it. Or as an alternative, lots of people can, share their journey, right? And maybe that, how can I say this? Okay, let me back up. And Pluzzing, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to offer something which is about life, which is lots of people that I know personally and who I hear about, they won't do something until they're, quote, ready. Okay? Like, until they're good at something, or they feel like they've earned the right to say something or do it. I mean, and here we'll talk about YouTube videos, and I totally get it. But I would say the following, like, it's really good if no one's ever ready, and if you can get the heart to go do something with what you have and find some way to make it interesting, you're gonna end up learning a lot as opposed to waiting. So if you can find some reason, even if it's just writing or using a YouTube video or streaming or whatever, just going through that process teaches you a lot, and you'll just become more confident in doing it. So I'd like to encourage anyone who is thinking about getting a YouTube channel and creating or streaming or whatever, writing, do it. Just do it. Because once you overcome that inertia, that's a big deal. And a lot of people cannot overcome the inertia and they hold themselves back. Let's see. I can't wait for other tablet companies to copy the shape of the Pro Pen 3. I don't know if they're going to, Hera. I think it's very polarizing. Mark Lorenzo, which thing sounds gimmicky? Can you tell me? Let's see, Japanese sports car. I've never actually owned a pen display before, and have been looking to buying one to do art, coming from CTH 480. So what happens is, okay, I have an answer for you. Give me a second. Let's see, older. Okay, don't worry, I got you covered. I always write docs. Okay, so Japanese sports car. Read. Let me put your thing. Sports car. Let me paste this in. There's a doc there called Using Older Drawing Tablets. It'll tell you what happens when you start using these older ones, and basically Wacom will drop support for the tablet drivers, and that's the issue. Okay. Mirror, you agree? Okay, you found the video about waiting. Lots of people like that. They don't want to do, and I always liked that when I was younger. I didn't want to do something until I was perfect at it. Again, now I'm going to open up and tell you something because it'll help you understand. Okay, number one. So I am a very shy person, actually. I know maybe it might come across that I'm not, but I do consider myself incredibly shy. And but certainly I'm less shy. I'm not as shy as I used to. And I remember when I was younger, in college even, which was a while ago, I want you to imagine there's like, you're registering for a conference, like you're at the conference center and there's like people there to hand you your badges, right? I would be so kind of hesitant and scared to go to the booth and say, hey, I'm Seven Pens, I'm here to register for this thing, and I don't know how to get my badge or whatever. Like, that would paralyze me. Because I always felt like I couldn't have that conversation unless I knew exactly what to say perfectly. And it took me a long time to get over that. And now I embrace the not knowing. I embrace being uncomfortable and embrace not knowing and not being an expert. And it takes time. The only way to get that way is to put yourself in those circumstances. Let's see. What I struggle with most is not worthy enough to, you got to do. If you don't do, you're never going to get that worthy feeling, okay? Because the truth is, you're always around people who are very skilled and who probably have more skill than you. I know I am at Microsoft. It's definitely that way. So you have to learn to find confidence in where you're at and just move forward, okay? Oh, I see. I mean, the Apple Pencil, this is the gimmicky part. Mark Lorenzo says, I mean, the Apple Pencil seems gimmicky, but a lot of pros like, I know. Look, on paper, I should love the Apple Pencil and I should love Procreate. The truth is, I don't like using Procreate and I don't like using the Apple Pencil. It's not bad. I just don't like the way the pressure works and the way the pencil feels, and it doesn't have buttons. And Procreate is just weird to me compared to using, my favorite app in the entire world, Clip Studio Paint. Hanem says Apple Pencil is being carried by software and barrel rotation. Does anyone even use barrel rotation with the Apple Pencil? I really want to know. Right? I see Mir sent the video. I'll take a look at it, Mir. Let's see. Let's bring it up.
Who wants it? And you know what's really interesting right now is you all raise your hands as if it's my power to pick someone. It's fascinating. And it's funny because you're still asking for permission.
Hey, you know what? I just discovered this guy the other day, so I'm going to watch more of his videos. People didn't see it, so let me just go show it. Harry, you're leaving? Okay. I'll be ending soon, so we'll maybe chat on Discord. So I'm going to play this a little bit. Thank you, Mia, for sharing it. Let's see. Hang on. Let me make this a bit bigger. I hate these YouTube shorts, by the way. Okay. I want system audio. Okay, let's see if this works.
And it's a very important lesson I learned while I was in America, is that so many of you are sitting here waiting to be chosen. You're sitting here waiting for someone to choose you. You're waiting for someone to create space for you to speak. You're waiting for someone to notice your brilliance without realizing that's your responsibility. If you want to be seen, if you want to be heard, if you want to be valued, whatever it is you want to go get it.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's a nice clip. I do agree with that. It's a very short clip, but it's a challenge for a lot of people. It's really an incredible challenge. And like anything, though, you can practice and get better, right? Remember, I was a person who, I'll tell you, my first stream, I was so nervous. And I like, what would people think about me, the way I looked? And would they think this? Like, would anyone even have come to my streams, right? And I was so scared of doing it. And I was also, I'm at work. I was filmed a lot, which may surprise you. So I'm totally comfortable in front of talking from an audience. But the idea that like my face would be out there talking about, my background is in distributed computing, not in drawing tablets. So it wasn't nervous. Yeah, sure. I was very nervous. I was very nerve-wracked and tense about it. But look, how much more comfortable I am now, right? And we're doing more things, right? In fact, for those of you, I think I mentioned, I'm going to start another channel about communication. And we're going to see how that works. See? Once you push through one barrier, you can go through more. Okay. Let's see. Hanem says, the stroke engine in Procreate feels so off to me. RStudio Pro is a much better Procreate clone. Interesting. So you don't like the stroke engine Procreate. Yeah, I like it, but it's like, this is not going to make any sense. It's like too slick. I don't know how to say it. It's just like too slick. I'm sure I carry a lot of biases when I say that, but I like Clip Studio Paint. $789, that is it's too punny. I like it, it's just too punny. 7 at night may be my late night talk show. Let's see, Rain says, I feel like something is off with Apple Pencil. I swear they have something that corrects the tapering of lines. I was trying to get ProPen 3 to feel like it, but I can't get it tapered like that. I'll have to play around with that, Rain. I'll have to play around with that. Was that just in Procreate or in other things? Because Procreate does a lot of weird things. Or not weird, but they definitely process that stroke that they do post-stroke correction by default for a lot of brushes. And I think that's one reason I don't like the feeling of Procreate. It's the processing. Let's see. Apple Pencil absolutely does a lot of software correction. It's more apparent once the components start to age break. The software can't. Really? You're saying that the pencil itself is wearing down? Maybe it's because I don't use those Apple Pencils that often. I haven't noticed it. Even with all the descriptions, the Illustrator Neg makes amazing Illustrator using only his iPad. Yeah, please. I think I've seen that name before mentioned in Discord, but I'm not familiar. You know, these days you guys have it pretty good because
Hello guys.
Back then
This is Joe.
When I was young, since there was no internet and there were no cell phones, we didn't know any artists. We just knew like famous old painters, like, you know, and then we knew comic book artists, maybe. The ones that you know about today, so many people know about, we would never have known back then. Okay, California Inking asks, great question. Do I like CSP simple mode? I don't. I try it like, I don't know, every month or every couple of weeks. But the way I draw is just very geared to touching a lot of buttons and moving things around. I will retry it again because, to be truthful, I use the toolbox a lot, right? And most of my shortcuts are actually in the toolbox. I rarely have to type anything, but just the navigation of layers and things, I find a little bit weird with simple mode. But I need to try. I know they're improving it. Okay, I see it, Mir. I see it. Let's take a quick look.
Hello, I'm Negu, an illustrator. This time, I'll explain the mindset when drawing a simple character.
I think I have seen one of these. Yeah, I have seen the videos from this channel. So I'll save this one and look at that later. Let's see. Mal Lorenzo says, off topic, I've just updated with Mac OS. Tahoe, it sucks. It does affect driver compatibility. Well, specifically, if you're using a Wacom tablet, basically there's a certain version which no longer works with the newest version of Mac OS. And then version that does work, they have a new one, dropped support for a whole bunch of tablets. So that negatively affected a whole bunch of users, very negatively. Let's see, if you test pencils that have been used for a lot more than 2 years, dropped it or got a bad unit, it's apparent they have higher wobble or pressure bugs like blob. Interesting. Now that you mention it, I haven't really tested my Apple Pencils in a couple of years, so I will give that a try soon. And Rain says, so you were out in public, people actually aware of their surroundings and not staring. Yeah, I'm gonna show you an example. So give me a second. This was, you might have seen this on Reddit, but this is the reality, okay? Hang on. It's like high definition test footage in New York. This is exactly what it was like. Okay, hang on. Here it is. No, that's not the right one. Hang on. It's so famous. Yeah, this is it. Okay, let me turn off my music. And I'm going to turn on the system audio, a little bit diminished, and I'm going to play this. And you'll see it in a second. Where is it? Okay. Okay, watch this. Okay, what do you notice? Look at that. So literally no one's looking. People are looking ahead for the most part. They're not looking down. So yeah, this is reality for a very long time. Not saying the past was better, just different. Let's see. I've had a lot of chances to test different pencils at art meetups recently. I compared with a new pencil. Interesting. So they kind of age, these Apple pencils. Yeah, Mark Lorenzo, is there a simple mode on CSP desktop? I think they only do it for like mobile devices, like Android and Apple iPad. Yeah, I think they should. I really do think I would love a simple mode for desktop, but it's just got to meet my needs. And Mir has sent some Negs illustrations, which I'll show. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Here's one. Oh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Let's see. It's kind of gory stuff, but very well done. I like this. I like the detail of the tie going across this arm. Another winner. I really like it. Thanks for sharing it. Thanks for this is probably the favorite of the ones that you shared, Mir. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, Pleasant, it's gorgeous. I agree. Let's see. Hey, Nem. To be clear, they age with use and not when stored. This could be explained what there's a lot of. Okay. So I don't use the Apple Pencil often, so I'll test them again just to double check. But yeah, that's probably why I haven't noticed anything even now, because they just, even though I've had them for, I don't know, 3-4 years, because I just don't use them very often. Okay, folks, it's, I think I'm going to end the stream now. We've gone on for a little bit over 2 hours. We did our evaluation of the tablet. Mir, I'll check out the speed paints for sure. But I just want to thank you. Now remember, I will be streaming tomorrow the Wacom Moving Pad Pro 14 should arrive, and I will be streaming again. Okay? I don't know if I'm going to be streaming at the exact same time or when. It probably won't be, it'll probably be similar to the time I'm doing it now. So I just want to let you know that it is coming. And of course, it has to arrive. If it's late, I'm going to have to delay the stream. But if it's late, I might just stream for another reason or another topic, right? Another topic. So I'll hang on a few minutes and we'll just deal with any additional questions. Pleasant, thank you so much for joining the stream. I really do. I do appreciate it. And as always, let me find the Discord link, because I know most of you are on there, but just in case you want to spend all day talking about digital art and drawing tablets, join our Discord. Rain, thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. I am so excited about the Moving Pad Pro 14. Sean, unfortunately, I don't speed paint, and I don't have the skill to do it. Thanks, California Inking. Thanks for joining us. I really do appreciate it. I like it when, one thing about having these streams is that everyone's asking questions, being very interactive. And since I retired, I don't have a lot of meetings, obviously. So in a lot of ways, these streams are kind of like, in a sense, a kind of meeting. And I get to stay kind of very intellectually active. And it's fun answering questions. Sean, I think I can paste a link to the YouTube channel. Give me a second. For Neg. I'll put it in. There we go. Okay. You should see the link to the YouTube channel for Neg. Okay? And then from there, you can find other things. Okay, let me just get a drink of water as I just wait for any remaining comments or questions. I'm going to save that at Atamoon. Let me find it. Oh, I didn't know that, Mir. So they're not, you have to draw fast. They're like you draw as long as you take, and then it speeds up the video. Okay, I get it. I thought it meant draw really fast. Okay, I did not understand that. Yeah. I'll save that Adam Moon. I found the YouTube channel. I'll take a look at it. Okay, everyone. I think it's good. Hey, thanks again for stopping by, and I'm glad. Hopefully, you'll join us tomorrow for the review. And if you get that large tablet, I'm really curious what you think about that one. Okay, everyone. I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks, everybody. I've had a great session, and I'll see you all soon. Stay perfect.